So we have audio. Ow.
Oh.
That was my ear. Stop, you're turning my lights on and off.
Clap on. I'm gonna give you the clap here. Actually, that might be part of today's episode. Not giving you the clap, but answering questions about STI. And don't worry about it. Anyway,
I don't want
roll the opening.
Hello!
Welcome back to
What's the safe word?
I'm Ian.
I'm Mr. Christopher.
And today,
We are diving into the Matrix. Whoa. Do you want a red or a blue pill? Or was it yellow?
no, you were right. Red and blue.
Red and blue.
I'll have a red, please.
I don't know what they do.
Oh. Actually, boners are also applicable for today's episode because today we are answering your Google search queries. Turns out during quarantine, people had a lot of questions and they had nowhere to go but Google when it came to sex, relationships, or just dating in general.
And they also had a lot of time and boredom on their hands.
True. So, left to their own devices, people started asking questions of Google because they were curious if they had an STI, or if everything was working okay down there, or if they were having hard problems with their relationships.
But if they were quarantining during COVID, how'd they get an STI?
It doesn't matter because they still ask the question. And today we have props.
Oh, crap.
Now, the folks from Mars.
Mars?
That's their, yeah.
The candy?
No. That was the study. It was from Mars. They did this study around sex and all that. But the folks from Mars did a whole study of all of the search terms during quarantine that revolved around sex and relationships. So, like, Daddy, what would you search for during quarantine? Actually, don't answer that question. I don't.
Have you ever looked at my Google history?
No. Should I?
No, that would be terrifying.
Okay. So today we are answering Google's most asked questions around sex and relationships during COVID.
Yay!
Woo! And I made props.
Props!
And whether you're Googling the perfect bottom diet or just watching some YouTube videos, you don't want your data to get mined like these idiots did. So today's sponsor, Surfshark, is sure to help you out, and we'll talk about them more later. But Daddy, let's just get into the first question. How about? You want to rip off the first one?
Sure. So each one I rip off is a question?
Yes. So this
Okay.
one says, these are what?
What? Okay. So should I take the first one?
Rip it.
I'm so confused. Okay.
So what?
What are the symptoms of chlamydia? Oh, this is going to be fun.
This was the top Google search term around sex during quarantine.
You're kidding me.
I'm not.
How did you get chlamydia during quarantine? Although that one tracks because it has very few symptoms. You could have been months in before you realized.
Exactly. So searches for this term actually peaked in September of 2020 when COVID lockdowns started kind of easing a bit. And it turned out for the younger people getting sexually active, it was on the rise heavily, especially in Australia. And as you said, chlamydia can be sneaky because a lot of times people don't feel symptoms. But because this question was asked, we have to answer it. What are the symptoms of chlamydia?
Sometimes you can get a burning or a painful sensation when you urinate.
Yeah, you can even have some pain in the lower stomach or some white, kind of milky discharge from the penis.
That's called semen.
Discharge? Not, well, painful discharge that's not being stimulated. Stick to the program.
Don't forget swollen or tender testicles.
I would never. But in all seriousness, just go get tested. If you're unsure or if you've been, in quarantine for a bit, getting tested is easy, quick, and it just takes a few seconds. Half of all Americans will get an STI in their life, so don't feel the shame around getting it. Feel empowered that you know what your body's up to, you know your health, and when someone asks, hey, when's the last time you got checked? You can say,
last week.
hopefully. Is that true?
Yeah. I go once a month.
Yeah, we recommend every 3 months at the very least.
Yeah.
Next, Daddy. Oh, sorry, I gotta sneeze.
You have a next daddy?
No. Next question, Daddy.
All right, here we go. Drum roll. What is gaslighting?
It's lit. Actually, it's not lit. But if it was lit, it would be enlightening.
I wonder why gaslighting was a term during quarantine.
It became a very popular term on like the Twitter space and the YouTubes. A lot of people were talking about very toxic nature and personalities during COVID and quarantine. So I think gaslighting became this term that kind of got legs. But what is it?
Well, you see, when two people don't love each other very, very much...
They have a flame war! No. Gaslighting is actually when a person tries to undermine another person's self-esteem and mental health by the constant use of lies, intimidation, insults, accusations, manipulations, or truth of fact in a deliberate sort of distortion of reality sort of way. So it's when somebody's misleading someone else and making them think they're a little, crazy.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Actually, we don't want to use the term crazy. It's not an okay term to use anymore, but...
I'm not insane. You're insane. It's really hard to identify, especially if it's coming from someone you trust and are close to.
And maybe people were just getting a little antsy and like, are they gaslighting me? Can I trust them? Honestly, I think people might have been going a little stir crazy with the cabin fever at home, if you ask me.
Well, also people were online Zooming each other and connecting more with people they didn't really know.
It did feel a lot more disingenuous, and maybe that's where a lot of the gaslighting speculation came from.
Also, Trump gaslit the hell out of us, so there's a big political factor in this one.
Also, it's just not cool. Don't do it to people. If you're not interested, you're not interested. Next question.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
What does it say?
It says, what is the proper way to put on a condom?
Over your penis.
This one I actually do know. It's literally the only thing that we learned in my sex education class.
Ooh, food.
Yeah. So I've got some condoms here. Nope. Make it sensual at least. Not sensual.
Show me how to put on a condom. I don't think I've ever seen you do it.
Excuse you. Just because we don't use condoms. So the first thing you're gonna do is check to make sure that the expiration date of your condom is good. And then from there, you're gonna never use your teeth, but just tear along whatever little corrugated rip line is here. You're gonna take the condom out and find the right way up, usually where that little dimple pokes up, and you're gonna make sure that you put it on the right way. Now, if you put it on the wrong way to begin with, maybe the dimple's the wrong direction, you can't roll it down, throw it away and get another one, just in case you got some pre-cum on the inside or the tip of this condom. We're then going to firmly grip our dick and roll it down. Ooh. Now, making sure that if your banana has a foreskin that's very thick, you don't roll that foreskin back, a thick foreskin on your banana. You never want that.
That was very good, puppy.
Thank you.
You are very good at this.
I also have a bubblegum condom, a chocolate chip mint condom.
Some chocolate chip mint?
Yeah. Literally just said don't use your teeth. Don't do that with that. See, this is why. Not on my computer! Oh my god, I smell the chocolate chip mint that walks.
I know, it's really good.
See, this right here, this is why people have problems putting on condoms. It's all fun and games until a chocolate chip mint condom hits you in the face. Next question, Daddy.
All right, here we go. This time I'll try not to rip it.
What is ghosting?
You in danger, girl.
Now, I'm not surprised. Gaslighting and ghosting both kind of became more popular during quarantine this year. Do you know what ghosting is, Daddy?
It's just when someone stops replying to you.
Yeah, it's when your boo stops replying to you.
No.
Actually, this had the biggest spike during February of quarantine for whatever reason, and it's only been going on an upward trajectory. So it actually has a trend of being one of the most popular this year instead of just being kind of near the bottom of the list.
Is that because people thought they could start making plans with each other?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get this haunting feeling when someone doesn't get back to me right away.
Are you spirited away?
I love Spirited Away. Also known as simmering or icing, ghosting is this colloquial term that represents when somebody just stops responding unjustly or unceremoniously, and there doesn't seem to be a reason why it happens, as they slowly back out of a conversation that they were actively involved in only a few seconds ago when they put actual condoms on top of your computer. I see where you're going.
It can be hurtful and feel unjust to someone, especially when it's done during a breakup. That can be very, very painful.
Have you ever ghosted someone? Because it can be done for a number of different reasons.
So you see, when two people love each other very, very much, they ghost each other.
Oh, wait. No, that's not.
No.
And actually, in researching just what ghosting was technically, I also learned some new terms like orbiting and breadcrumbing.
Ooh, I like the breadcrumbing part.
Well, orbiting is actually this trend where you stay in the orbit of someone you might have ghosted or broken up with because of possible jealousy, or you're still lusting after that ex.
You become an internet stalker.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. I'm saying, no. That's why you should have Surfshark VPN. Where breadcrumbing is when someone is actively ghosting. They're dropping little breadcrumbs on the person, an occasional hi or a hello, with no real intent of following through. So whenever you're hungry and I just like toss you a little breadcrumb one at a time.
I was gonna say, that happens all the fucking time.
No dinner for you. In fact, there's plenty of studies, some by Plenty of Fish in fact, about ghosting and who's been ghosted or why, with 82% of women saying they've been involved in some sort of ghosting and 71% of men being involved.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Everyone has felt like they've been ghosted on before.
It's a lot of ghosting.
And across the board of genders, the same top 3 reasons for ghosting were all the same. The first being, the person was ghosting to avoid confrontation with someone. The second being that they said the person they were going on a date with was not living up to their profile photos.
Woo! I look like my photos.
While the third said that the person was becoming too clingy. And that's...
Why don't you love me?
Which leads us to our next question. What does it say, Daddy?
What?
You know you have to pull the...
Oh. It says what right
What?
there. I read the first thing. What is today's sponsor?
Well, thank you so much for asking, Google. That wasn't one of the search terms. I
Oh.
just put it in there. It's a segue. It's a segue. No, today's sponsor, Surfshark, is actually perfect for this exact reason. When you're searching on the internet, you don't want someone to get a hold of your data, right? Got your data, got your data. Ooh, I got your data. Ooh, what were you searching? How to remove what from your butthole? Daddy, are you looking for internet security?
Always.
24/7 customer support?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say service.
24/7 service?
I always like being serviced.
30-day money-back guarantee if you don't happen to like the product?
I like a guarantee.
Well, I can guarantee you that you'll love today's sponsor then, Surfshark. Now, Daddy and I are always on the internet searching for all sorts of inappropriate things, and we need that VPN not only to protect our data, but make sure people aren't trying to sell us fake boner pills. You know how like you search for something or you say something to your you know what robot thing and then you all of a sudden get an ad for it? You know what I mean? Now, a VPN, which stands for
Very pretty network.
Virtual Private Network, but it's what you turn on your computer to make sure that your internet is anonymous and that you're not getting any weird ads, no one can get a hold of your data, or you can just surf the internet with ease.
Like a shark.
Let's say you're curious about how you can cook with cum. I did search for that this week. Possible episode coming up. And actually, it helps you get around geoblocks on some of your favorite websites. Like say you get that cannot watch video in your current area on YouTube. You can use a VPN and spoof your location to the UK, maybe Australia, or maybe Canada. What's that about? And speaking of Canada, that's how I was watching some of my favorite Drag Race seasons, including All-Star 6, by just spoofing my location and using my Netflix account that I was already paying for. Sorry, Paramount Plus. You got sharked.
You can get your own deal at Surfshark. Check out the link down below and use offer code WATTS.
For 83% off and 3 months for free when you try out a new 2-year plan. Ooh. Ooh. So you don't have to ghost your internet. You can bring it back from the grave. So thank you again, Surfshark, for not only making our internet data safe, but making sure other people can't see what weird shit we Google because, you know.
And letting the puppy watch Drag Race no matter what country he's in.
Thank you, Surfshark. Now on to the next question. Oh, we've already ripped all of the.
Oh, we're done.
What are we going to do? Oh, we're going to flip it over. There's more. So these ones are all how questions. So these are the top rated, again, sex and relationship questions that started with
How?
Daddy, rip off that first question.
All right. How to find STI testing near me? So the first question was STI for both?
Yep. People are really curious about testing. So the first one on the other side was chlamydia symptoms, and this one is literally about how to find a place to get tested, which is fair, because during quarantine, if you needed to get tested, it was difficult.
Yeah, I don't think they were doing any testing.
Even as we're opening up, I'm sure people even more are trying to find places to get tested. And if you don't know, it can be expensive. But there's lots of places probably around or near you that give you free or discounted assisted STI testing because we want people to get tested.
Just Google it.
In fact, if you're nervous about doing it, Daddy, have you ever gone with someone to get tested?
I have.
Oh, we've gone together now.
But I wasn't thinking of you, but yes. Next question.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get to rip one off.
Don't tear it.
Jesus. Oops. Who made this?
You did. How to have sex.
I forgot this.
So, can you be more specific? What kind of sex are you looking for, and who is having said sex?
Well, you see, Daddy, when one person loves another person very, very much. The fact that this term was one of the highest searched for terms and was top trending in Utah of all places.
Top only did it?
No, I mean, the most searched terms came from Utah. When you look at the stats, it's not that surprising, and From Mars even breaks it down by state within the United States, with Utah the top trending for this specifically.
So Utah doesn't know how to have sex?
Well, when you look at other stats, it's also not surprising that Utah is one of the 26 states in the United States that still stress abstinence-only sex education. So when we look at these Google trends, we can't help but look at some of the more Republican-led and middle-of-the-country sorts of states are asking the questions because they're not getting that in actual sex class. Daddy, have you ever had sex?
Yes, I have.
Do you remember when and how you got sex education, though?
Well, it was before the internet.
Wait, there was things before the internet?
Well, you see...
How did Surfshark have a business?
Yeah, mine was through porn, but just through magazines.
Oh my gosh, so it wasn't even moving? How did you get off?
If I flipped the magazine really fast, you could see it.
But what if what if they were a little crunchy or crispy or stuck together because
Well, they usually were.
Ew. And unfortunately, studies have shown that 80% of teens have seen porn in the absence of actual sex education and use that as sex education. Porn is a fantasy. And I think that there's a lot we can learn from porn, whether it's desires, wants, needs, things we're into. But when that is the only form of sex education, do you see how that could be a really, really bad way to learn about the sex? Hopefully this next question doesn't give you a hard-on, Daddy. Rip it off.
Oh shit. Okay. How to fix erectile dysfunction.
Oh, well, a lot of people are gonna have a hard time with this one.
Oh.
Erectile dysfunction happens. It is a normal thing that can happen to a large population of those with penises. So, how do you fix it?
Well, this must be a question because 2020 kind of sucked for everyone.
Oh.
And if you're not in a good mood, that's kind of naturally what happens.
Well, some really natural ways to help with erectile dysfunction, of course, is being healthy, both in mind, but also in body, being in good shape. And when I say exercise, I mean like not just your muscles, not just taking a walk and getting, the body moving, but also getting that pelvic floor in there.
I'm doing my Kegels right now.
That's right, do your Kegels, y'all. Do it 3 times a month is what's recommended to keep that erection in place. Can you do a Kegel?
Also, there are plenty of boner pills that work. Some are over the counter. And if all else fails, see your doctor.
They know what's best for you and they know what's going to treat your body right. Because there's only about 5% of those with penises that have problems at the age of 40, but it raises to 15% at around the age of 70. So this is a normal thing. Your body goes through its paces the same way everything else kind of slows down or stops working. My knees have not been the same since COVID. But it's okay, we're fine, we're good. Positive mental thinking.
Don't make me ghost you.
Hey, come back. No, you can't leave me. Breadcrumbs.
Ooh. Also remember, erectile dysfunction is separate from desire for someone.
Oh, for sure. I think that some people, especially if you were locked up during quarantine by yourself, can feel like maybe they don't have attraction towards their partner and that's why their dick isn't working. No, I think that there's a lot that goes on around us, whether it's life, work, or just being in a quarantine for a bit, dealing with the stress of it coming back. Like, there's so much at play here that you have to be kind to yourself. And that's why I'm sure a lot of people were Googling it because they wanted some sort of affirmation maybe that their desire's still there. They're still able to have that drive for their partner. They just need a little bit of assistance maybe.
And if you're living on top of each other and in closed spaces, yeah, that might not be the thing you want to do all the time.
I love you. I love you. Are you hard? I love you. 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 Speaking of erections, oh, let me erect this back up. Daddy, rip it off. We're almost at the end.
All right.
It's getting worse and worse.
How to measure a penis. Oh, how do you measure a penis?
So for shits and giggles, I did Google, how do you measure I wanted to see what it said. I'm curious.
I remember when I worked in porn, we always put everyone had a 9-inch penis. And we did not measure that right.
Oh my. Yeah, I remember working with a few sites and seeing my profile and magically growing an inch or so. And so I actually Googled it, and the first result that popped up, the trusted one, said that you press a ruler into your groin and measure from the base of your penis to the tip.
Done.
Why? Maybe? Probably? Yes. But wow.
It's porn length.
And to get the widest part of your penis, you just wrap around the thickest part, and that's the girth. No, just once.
Got it.
Oh my god. Ah! Oh! Ah, you got it in my eye.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And the average length of a penis, based on actual studies, is 5.1 inches to 5.5 inches. So I can say that I am above average. We both actually can say.
I'm way above average. Way.
Well.
Huge. Big mistake. Huge. Do you measure it before or after you're erect?
Honestly, if someone's gonna be measuring their dick, you sure as hell know that they've done it before and after. So they know, everyone always knows both. If you have a penis to measure, you've measured it. Trust me.
Are you a shower or a grower?
I don't need to tell you that. I've got sites for that.
I know. All right, let's see how the last question measures up.
Okay, ooh, I get to finish us off.
Okay.
I get the money shot. Oh, speaking of money shots, how many calories does sex burn?
Ooh, I hope a lot.
Well, it wouldn't be a What to Say for an episode without a little bit of facts, and Healthline actually states that men burned 101 calories during a session, while women burned about 69.
Nice.
Nice cock.
Nice cock. The women?
No. The internet memes! And that's during a 24-minute session, roughly. So,
How rough?
the rougher, the more calories, I'll tell you that. No, I mean like just one normal sex session, whatever normal is
What's
considered.
a normal sex
Well,
session?
this is a middle of the road. Some people do it for 6 hours, some people do it for 6 minutes. You know, it's just, you use that baseline and do some math, okay?
I should be this thin by now.
Daddy, it's only 100 calories. You know how much 100 calories is?
You know how much sex I have?
I agree. You're so much when two people love each other with a masochistic tendency very, very much.
Now there's a love story I can get behind.
Ow, 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 ow. Actually, the funniest part about this one is it skyrocketed in January as soon as people started probably going right back to the gym because of, you know, New Year's weight that they always try to get off.
So they're trying to compound that with sex. So cardio sex.
Well, I mean, if you're a little warmed up, you might sweat a bit more. But honestly, that's not as much as I thought.
No, actually,
very
you
little.
could double that and make me happy.
I mean, you feel like so much is happening. I feel like you should at least be like 500 maybe. Come on.
What if you're eating during sex?
Oh, then you negate it. Yeah. If you have a pizza in your mouth while you're getting pounded, like that doesn't count. Sorry.
I'm fine with that. I can have pizza while I have sex?
Sure. Double
Done.
stuffed crust. Whilst the volume of this search term did drop as soon as it got to February. So it was absolutely those
Is while people were working out, they're like,
yep.
oh, maybe it's because they're having more sex because they're working out and feeling better about their bodies.
I just wish it was more. I wish I was expecting so much more calories from a 24-minute session. Sheesh. And honestly, we probably burned more than we would have with sex by just doing this episode. It is hot in here.
And ripping these off, they're so fucking heavy.
Anyway, I think search terms and conversations like this come up because we literally don't have conversations about sex in our society.
We're having one right now.
Yes, but we're an outlier, and we talk about sex nonstop, where most people don't have those outlets, especially if you're stuck at home and very conscious of not having sex or your body feeling weird or just wanting to have intimacy.
Again, Google us. We talk about it 24/7.
At the same time, though, there's a commentary to have about if you go to a site like, say, YouTube, and you type in sex education, the first couple pages on YouTube are nothing but Sex Education, the show on Netflix.
Which is a great show.
It's a great show. Lovely show. Can't wait for season 3. But then you look at the rest of it, and it's just trailers, and it's the cast talking about their favorite snacks, or YouTubers not actually talking about sex education, but using sexy thumbnails. There's a problem where we're not having actual conversations that people want to have, and all the results have their thumbnails stripped from the video.
Oh, like us.
I mean, stripping. And that's why I think it's especially enlightening to see the top search terms on Google from this last year, but also important to kind of demystify the fact that people are still searching for things like how to have sex. Fuck, we're in so much trouble.
We need more education. The only sex education I got in school was all about vagina. Like, this is the vagina.
This is the vagina.
I'm like a frontier I will never go.
Clever girl.
But But it's also not lost on us that From Mars can see that on Earth, the states that tend to have more abstinence-only education do have harder times with STIs and just sex and relationships in general. Shocked. So if you'd like more open conversations that are fun, down to earth, and just lighthearted, leave a like down below.
If you like ringing bells, ring that bell.
And don't forget to subscribe, not only here, but support our sponsor Surfshark that made today possible. And if you want to support us more directly, you can also check out our merch. Hello, Kinky.
Can you read me?
It's our new tarot card line. Go check it out. We also just did a podcast with a tarot card reader that read our kinky futures, and it was a little scary.
Frightening.
It was a little scary. But whether you're part of these search results or not, always have a safe word in the bedroom. And today's safe word is...
Why?
Why what?
I don't know. I'm going to Google why. Why are we at the end?
Because all good things must come. When two people don't love each other very... Why sex?
Why sex?
Why sex?
Why sex?
Why sex?
Why sex?
Why don't we say goodbye? Bye!
Bye! Wait, I'm gonna break the internet.
Oh!
I broke the internet!
I spent a lot of time on that.
It's very pretty.
See, the internet's fine. It'll be fine. It's fine.
Broken!
And don't you ask any other question.
Ow. No, keep your questions coming. Leave them down below.
Yeah, if you have more questions, Daddy will tear them apart in the comments.
I won't. I'm super, super nice always. Bye.
Oh, ew, minty. Oh, bananas. Gross. Ew, gross.